students, it is indeed pleasure to talk with reference to unit number 3, the Trade Union Act 1926. In this particular session, we are going to cover certain aspects which are related to Trade Union Act, in which history of trade union. We are going to talk about what exactly introduction of trade union, definitions of trade union, and what are the features which are being covered under trade union, objectives of trade union, functions and duties and liabilities of registered trade union, rights of registered trade union, registration of trade unions, cancellation of registration and appeal, amalgamation of trade union, dissolution of trade union, and various regulations under Trade Union Act 1926. So let us understand history of trade union law in India. As Trade Union Act is been established in 1926. So before that there were certain things which are happening which was not protecting the employees, and there's certain kind of rules and regulations for their own employment in an organization. So trade union and their activities were not considered lawful in the beginning anywhere in the world. This was so in India also. Until 1926, there was no law in India for registration and protection of trade union. So in 1920, when a suit was filed against the official of Madras Textile Labour Union by Binney and Company, the High Court of Madras, following the common law in England, granted an injunction restraining the union officials from influencing the workmen to break their contracts with employers by striking. Obviously, leaders of the trade union found themselves liable to prosecution and imprisonment even for bona fide trade union activities. It was then they felt that some legislative protection of trade union was necessary. So hence Mr. N.M. Joshi, then General Secretary of All India Trade Union Congress, successfully moved a resolution in the Central Legislative Assembly seeking introduction of some law by government for protection of trade unions. The employers were so much opposed to do any such protection of trade union under legislative measures being adopted that the passing in 1926, but this act was enforced only from 1st June 1927. So after understanding a kind of a brief history of trade union, let's understand the definition of trade union under 1926 Act of Trade Union Act 1926. Trade Union section number 2H of Trade Unions Act 1926 has defined a trade unions as any combination, whether temporary or permanent, formed primarily for the purpose of regulating the relations between workmen and the employers, or between workmen and workmen, or between employers and employers, or for imposing restrictive conditions on the conduct of any trade union or business, and includes any federation of two or more trade unions. Then this definition talks about three relationships which are very crucial. They are relationship between workmen and workmen and employers, and employers. Means there are basically three parties which are very crucial to understand. One is employer, workmen, and the relationship between them, and government intervention. Means government has its role in understanding the relationship between employer and employees. So here according to Flippo, a labor trade union is an organization of workers formed to promote, protect, and improve through collective action the social, economic, and political interest of its member. It means here it is an association which has been formed for the sake of employees' welfare or betterment of employees, or getting a kind of let's say understanding related to protect their own responsibilities or the duties or the kind of action which promotes their protection. It provides the justice to the uh, employees or the members which are involved into that particular organizations who are under that trade union. According to the daily order, a trade union is a continuous association of workers which is formed with purpose of protecting the interest of worker. Here the daily order is mentioning that this particular organization or the association will protect the interest of workers. So next point where we will discuss about how and why trade union grew up. The growth of modern industrial organization involving use of modern technology, the workers feel threatened of being obsolete because of their increased use of technology. They form themselves into a groups and feel that they cannot go only overcome that fear but also fight better for their welfare. Setting up a kind of large amount of their betterment and welfare, they failed and they have a fear in their mind. So obvious they require certain kind of things which can be helpful for them, and that's why they formed better kind of understanding between all employees, and they formed trade union for the sake of them. The setting up of large scale industry units involving widespread use of machinery, changing in working and living environment of workers, concentration of industrial in large town, and the exploitation of the employers brought the workers together to maintain and improve their bargaining power against employers. The consequences were trade unions which have now come to symbolize workers' right to organize, their right to press their demand collectively, and to go on strike if their demand are not accepted. Means whatever the kind of demands which they have set together, and they will enforce to have a collective bargaining. If it is not happen, they are going for the strike. Now what are the features under this trade union act or forming of the trade union? After analyzing the definition, we can find out or we can draw certain kind of features out of it. So trade union is an organization formed by the employees or the workers. It is formed on the continuous basis. It is a permanent body and not a temporary one. It is formed to protect and promote all kinds of interest in terms of economic, political, and social of all its members. It includes Federation of Trade Unions also. It achieves its objective through collective action and group effort. So, after understanding the features, we will understand what are the different objectives of trade union. Why trade union is really necessary for the workers. Objectives of trade union due to which workers organize themselves into unions for the sake of to improve the economic lot of employees by securing for their better wages, to secure better working conditions for the workers, to secure bonus for the employees from the profit concern, to resist schemes of management which reduce employment, rationalization and automation or automation, to secure welfare of employees through group schemes which give benefits to every employees, to protect interest of employees by taking active participation in the management, to secure social welfare of the employees, and the last, to secure organizational stability, growth and leadership. Means this particular trade union will help to protect their own interest. So what are the different functions of trade union? Broadly speaking, trade union performs two types of functions. One is militant function and other is fraternal function. Militant functions, this activity is performed by trade union for the betterment of position of their members in relation to their employment, such as adequate wages, secure better working conditions, get better treatment from employers, and so on and so forth. When the trade union fails to accomplish these aims by collective bargaining and negotiation, they adopt to approach and put up a fight with management in the form of go slow, slow down, strike, boycott, etc. Fraternal functions. Under fraternal functions, we need to find out the various set of activities performed by the trade union, which aims at rendering help to its members in times of need and improving their efficiency. The trade union try to foster a spirit of cooperation and promote friendly relations and diffuse education and culture among their members. They also arrange for legal assistance to its members. For example, schools for the children, library, other recreational facilities, even certain kind of financial facilities by creating certain societies. They are creating a fraternal functions.